Hey there, I'm Caden Rains and welcome to my basement. Today, in honor of Spooky Month, we're going to continue with our Halloween themed figures of the few I have, that being Vampire Mr. Burns from one of the old Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes, although you can say old Simpsons about a lot of things at this point. This is a Jack's Pacific figure, and they put it out before regular Mr. Burns, which is interesting. I wasn't planning to get this figure, but I found it on sale, and that FOMO got me, so I guess it worked out. But let's get him out of the box, take a look at what he does, and go from there. So here is the Mr. Burns figure, the vampire Mr. Burns figure, I should say, out of the packaging on its own. There is a second part, which is probably what you're actually paying for with this figure, but we'll get to that in a minute. If you've seen the episode this comes from, then you should probably know that this looks pretty good compared to how he looks in the episode. Given those fangs, got the robe. Now, because he's got a robe, which is made of a soft, rubbery plastic, probably just straight rubber, honestly, but I'm bad at telling those kind of things sometimes. But to get that robe appearance and what he was wearing, he doesn't have legs. So there's not any leg joints to speak of. There's this connection, which we'll get to in a minute. But he does have a pretty good, probably ball and joint socket at the top, but it's limited by the rope. But it means you can, he's got some posability through that. His arms have an extra bit of posability because he doesn't have legs. So his wrist will turn great, and they will back and forth and around, so great. So joint at the elbow, joint at the shoulder, and then the extra one I was speaking of is this where the seam is, so that you can move his arm around a bit more. I don't know how necessary that was because the joint at the shoulder already does that, but it's there, so I guess they were just covering their bases. So, yeah, I like the expression. The hair is a reference to older vampire movies, as old as the 90s, some of them, and older. But, like I said, I got him because I found him on sale on Amazon. I still see him along with the Hulk Homer, the one where he gets covered in paint. I still see them in Targets a lot, so you can find them. I got them for like $15 when I think they're like $32 normally, but whatever. That's how important that is to you. It is going to be determined by what you've got going on in your life. I would not have bought him without that sale, but I do think he's a good looking figure, and while keeping the robe appearance, they do a good job of still giving him some posability and personality, I suppose. The other thing that he comes with, I don't really want to call it his accessory because there's more plastic to it than he has, but it's his coffin that he sleeps in. So, it's nice looking. If they didn't cheap out on it, it's the reason this is like a $32 thing. It's got little demon/gargoyle heads on both sides, the feet at the bottom, stonework. I mean, it's not actual stone, obviously, but it looks nice. It's just a pretty good thing overall, but it does have a play feature, and that's where this comes in, which I'll show you in just a second. So the top pops off. It's got that B on there for Burns, or boo-urns, depending on your preference. And that's when this bit comes in, because if we look inside, we can see this clip here. So he clips onto that. There we go. And then using this lever on the side, probably not how he's intended to fall back into bed or into his coffin, but it's how he does. So then we can put the lid on, and to play, just get this nice and dramatic. Let's try that again. So to be nice and dramatic. Wah! I want to suck your blood, even though that's not what he sounded like in the episode. So, you know, it's a play feature. If you like playing, if you're going to make a stop motion or whatever, it's there. Oh, he came off it. All right, so I guess I didn't clip him in hard enough, or I don't know, maybe he just isn't intended to go back and forth this regularly. But, yeah, I feel like at the very least, the coffin can act as a good set piece. So, like, I could have... I really don't like the way he clicks into it, though. Because as far as I can tell, and I didn't see anything in the instructions, there's not really a mechanism to release. He just clips in, and if you don't like it, there it is. But going back to what I was talking about, you know, if I wanted to pose him with some other stuff, I could put him on top of the coffin or put something else on the coffin. And, you know, it serves as a riser at the very least. Again, it is a nice looking accessory, but it is just a coffin. It may have that thing to pop him up, but it can only pop him up unless you find another toy with this exact clip or something close enough square of that size to clip on, you know, loosely. You know, nothing else is going to really work with it. So in the long run, it is just a space holder, but at least it's a space holder with a flat top, so you can post stuff on it. But now that we've got him looked at, and he's all out of his packaging, let's go put him on the shelf and see how he looks. And we're just going to put evil old Mr. Burns right here. Oh no, Shaggy, look out! You've decided to eat next to a vampire's coffin. Which, honestly, as scared as Shaggy would be about seeing a coffin, if there was food, I could see him doing that. I also found the second Mimikyu while I was out, and, you know, FOMO's gonna FOMO, I guess. It was cheap, though, so good for me. But here's my little Halloween display for now. I've got one more figure that's Halloween-oriented that I'll add to the mix. And then we'll get back to our regularly scheduled program with the shelvening and the villains group that we were in the middle of before I realized it was spooky season. So, do you have the Vampire Mr. Burns Jack's Pacific figure? If you do, let me know down below how you like it. If you don't, like I said earlier, I still see it in places, especially Target and probably on Amazon. I have not checked in a while. So, let me know down below if you wish you had it, if you'd want it, if you're glad you don't have it, if you're glad you have it, whatever. And if there's anything else Halloween-y you think I could do for this miniature little display I've got going on. Otherwise, I hope you had a good time in my basement, and I'll see you in the next one.